a phone, and Lamar provided a phone. Yeah.
He's not going to make the kids use that phone.
Okay.
But he did say we gave us a concrete Tuesday week, and then the 1 to 2 he wouldn't narrow it down. I asked for 3 days.
Okay, and he gave you 1.
He gave me 1, but he's supposed to have contact 2 to 3 times, no matter what.
And what did he say about them being able to contact using the cell phones he gave them?
He said, I'm not going to order which cell phones they have to call on. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to be like, okay, and this is why this is all on the table. Because if he keeps getting cut off, that means Kim is cutting him off.
Right,
the kids aren't hanging up on him.
No, it's Kim.
Do you have an iPhone? Do y'all know how FaceTime works?
No,
okay.
I don't do
it. If I FaceTime someone, who can I face? I can FaceTime Latoya. Okay. She might answer, she might not. FaceTime starts off. These things come up, okay? FaceTime's working through apps and internet. So before she answers, right, connecting.
So you're there waiting for her to come in.
Did you see what it said, connecting?
Yeah.
Okay, when it said connecting, I hung up. The screen on the other end is going to say connecting and pop up, and you'll see the screen, and then you'll be. So
you could be waiting for her, right?
And then so she might call me back now, like you hung up. You understand? Anytime it's red means missed calls. So what she was doing was she was calling me and it's saying connecting. And so I hit it. I'm like, okay, connecting. And then she hangs up. So then I will call right back and she wouldn't answer.
Okay, so and you've got proof of that.
Yeah, I gave you the screenshots. You can't even say that it was a miss of the stuff when I'm calling right back, and then the time thing's always so. You called it 8:47, I called it 8:48. Like it's always the same.
So it's like you're sitting there looking at the phone.
It says loading because it's an app. It's the video conferencing.
If you're in my office on Wi-Fi,
sometimes
it goes over
longer.
Wi-Fi.
So yeah, sometimes it takes longer. Loading. Yeah. So while it's saying loading, then it'll say connecting. Right before connecting, it's like a 2-second window where it goes bloop, and you see the faces.
Yeah.
So in that 2 seconds, she just goes bow and hangs up. It makes it seem like I'm rejecting the call. Why would I be having you go to court to argue to get a phone call? Then if they never use her phone and just called from their own phones, we never had a discrepancy. You see a long line of texts from my daughter whenever she sneaks to use the phone.
So just send me the order in case the Court of Appeals asks about what's happening, okay? Yeah. So he said at least once a week, and then...
No, he gets Sunday for an hour.
But then she already blatantly skipped that twice.
Wait, no, but I want to hear, before I see how she violated, I want to see what the order said.
Well, Lamar, that's one thing. That's why I'm saying it's all on the table now. What I'd like you to do, and I know you're going to do it, because we talked about it, record your calls, and note the duration and the time, and just create a log. And so I need those 3 things. So if he continues to miss Sundays, it's going to be on her.
Yeah, but there's never any tangible thing, because when you say 1 to 2, she can say 1 and it doesn't matter.
So what orders have been? Can I just ask you guys real quick so I know just for the appeal, and then you guys can talk more about what you need to do. But for the appeal, since I filed, there's been an additional orders, right?
No.
One.
Okay. One. And that says
the one that yesterday.
Okay, and isn't there something too? There's a hearing scheduled.
Scheduling order.
A scheduling order for.
Yeah.
So one order.
Show cause / evidentiary hearing.
Can you send that to me too?
I can check out.
Okay, that's perfect. I can scan.
Yeah, I got everything scanned.
Hey, and I'm not going to call back your mom, okay?
This is very frustrating.
I know. What's going on? What's going on?
Because just the dynamics of everything. This is took. I'm going to be very frank with you.
Do you think she's just upset?
I don't even care about that. What I care about is the fact that we went from July when he makes the order, September when they leave, and I believe we're going to be into May. And my firm conclusion is that something I've seen happen to many other guys in my father's group is what's happening here. The spin of the time goes, and then she gets to say, the court will say, oh, she's established a custodial environment. So everything you all are doing will be meaningless and pointless, because I believe that's where this plays on. That's why everything he does is extended. You had a motion 2-3 weeks ago, and we got to have court 4 or 5 months out from that. It's all type of people who've been getting court dates set in between that 3 weeks later, 6 weeks later, 1 month later, 2 months later. But you got to have a schedule months out to benefit her. Everything you ever did.
They're getting evidentiary hearings? How? Who?
People are doing that. It's taking everybody months and months.
I was talking to one of my attorney friends, the one that hired me to do an appeal, And she said only like one other attorney gets these kind of evidentiary hearings that she knows
Okay,
of.
all right. So he gets. There's a show cause on travel expenses, travel regarding Christmas break, and the MCR 26112C1C is what issue is it? That's this one.
This is about her lying.
Okay. That's about the brother, the non-existent brother in Atlanta.
Right.
And do you have like? I can't remember if me and you spoke about this. Did you say you had his homestead information?
Yeah.
See, and that's it's either what's it, Illinois or Minnesota or Wisconsin?
It's Illinois. He works for the University of Wisconsin. He lives in Illinois, I believe, in Rockford or Redford, Illinois.
Rockford, Roscoe
Township. Okay, right.
But it's Rockford, a mailing address. I believe.
Okay. So you can only claim homestead what you call your main address, your primary residence.
He's not in Georgia.
I know he's not. But I'm just saying that eliminates any speculatory try of it. So what I'm trying to ask you is, if you know the fraud is there, and we have what it takes, why do we have to take months for someone to say, you can't prove anything and I can prove this?
It's law. It's the way it is, and it's the way we... all my cases and appeals take a long time, and trial court takes a long time. And
when you allege fraud in front of the court, like basically perjury,
and that's what you're alleging, which is true.
What the problem?
And then the court says
while I was doing what I was doing,
discretion not to have an evidentiary.
While I was doing,
but they're actually having a hearing on this, so that's good.
Yeah.
What's the first? The order you had yesterday was on specific contact, right?
Specific contact, and it's actually this too.
Okay.
Because I submitted a 7-day order, and 7-day order, and then the judge just said, well, when does this parent Sunday call supposed to occur? Between 3 and 5. They're supposed to occur.
I thought you said it was 8 before.
No, that's not during the week. I said Sunday.
Oh,
Sunday
between 3 and 5. Sunday you have 1 hour.
Yeah, Sunday 1 hour between 3 and 5.
Can that work for you?
It's not as good as the evening.
No, but you're going to have to stick with it, Lamar. You're going to have to deal. I mean, just...
Well, I mean, I told he said 4 to 5, and I said fine. You know, that's what he first said. And then,
this gives you 2
across the board. Just
well, next time,
you know what, Lamar, it all sucks, but you just got to right now just keep step by step.
Consistency.
Yeah, well, I think it's because it's longer during
because you
Sunday.
You get an hour.
You get an hour.
And does he get another time during the week? Tuesday
at like 8:40.
8:40 p.m.
Yeah, and that's 10 minutes, both kids. But 10 minutes total.
10 minutes per kid.
No. 10 minutes total.
10 minutes total.
Yeah.
So why am I on some type of rapist stipulation?
What?
That's the type of shit they give the rapists, man. I know better than that.
Lamar, it's going to be... Lamar, Jesus Christ, man. Like I tell you,
10 minutes.
I argue with the court all the time. If you look at all the front of the court counties...
It sucks, but it's what... listen, right now we got to go with it.
The front of the courts, a lot of them put out guidelines. This one doesn't. Some will say once a day before 8 o'clock. Some will say once a week. Yeah. I mean, there's no set...
So you have an hour and 10 minutes a week, and when's the next time they fly back here?
He actually has an hour and a half a week.
Is there extra time?
For 10 minutes. He's supposed to have 2 to 3 contacts. It could be an hour and 20 to an hour and a half. Okay. Yes, it's more than that.
Okay. All right. So when do they come back?
They're coming back April... When is it, Lamar? Or is it March 30th? March 30th.
Good. For how long?
Till April 8th.
Yep.
Good. Okay. All right. And our oral argument is on the 11th.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, and I think I've answered it, is...
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
CB,
so my concern was, do we file a motion before, and Lamar, listen to this too, okay? Do we file a motion before Tuesday where we say, let's hold off the appeal until we see what the trial court does on...
No, I'm going to tell you that. You don't have to tell me nothing else. No.
You know what?
Stalling no
but
more
for my
time
sake,
we're not doing nothing different.
For my sake, I'm going to finish my statement, okay? And then whatever decision you make...
Let me hear what she says.
Okay, Lamar. Jeez. Okay.
Let me hear.
So, do we hold off on the appeal because I'm worried we may lose, and that's going to crush whatever the trial judge is doing? Because I think he's finally starting to move a little in Lamar's direction. Now, Lamar, I've had cases where it took 2 years for the trial court to turn around, and the kids. Did you hear about the Shimoni case where the kids were put in Children's Village?
No.
in Judge Gorsucha in
Oakland County.
Oakland County. Judge Gorsucha in Oakland County took these kids, and she said they weren't visiting their father the way they should. And she held them in contempt. A 13-year-old, a 11-year-old, and a 9-year-old. And she told them that they were going to be stuck in Children's Village with other criminals, and she put it that way, and that they would have to be stripped naked, and they'd have to pee in front of other kids. And she found them in contempt, and she threw them in Children's Village. And number one, Children's Village is a place for kids. And and listen, I'm not saying it's how we should be warehousing our children, which I don't believe in. But anyway, but she treated those kids like they violated some order that they were never held to. I mean, they had never been parties to a particular order. She treated them abysmally. She stuck them in Children's Village. She removed them from one parent, which is what you're doing. Lamar,
I'm taking notes on what you're saying.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay. She removed them from one parent. So we ended up filing, they filed one appeal that was useless with some attorney filed a claim that should have been, it actually should have been a claim, but it wasn't argued correctly. And then we filed in September. We ended up filing appeals of various orders that removed the kids, not put them in Children's Village. They were eventually, after 6 weeks, taken out of Children's Village. They were after one of I think the boy was hurt during there, but I don't know all the details. Then we filed our appeals. We got those orders reversed, but they didn't grant peremptory reversal, just like they didn't grant peremptory reversal in your case. So we filed in September. We filed emergency motions. They denied our motions for peremptory, which is a tough standard, but the courts, if there haven't been hearings, like, not exactly Lamar's situation, but that was a situation where there should have been a peremptory reversal. No, we went for a stay in Lamar's, not a peremptory.
Yeah, we went for stay.
Yes, we went for stay. But anyway, they denied peremptory. They denied a stay. So the kids they had no contact with their mother, with all this bizarre stuff going on from September, October, November, December, January, February, March. We had oral argument in April, and then the court reversed. And the mom got the kids back, and then the parties finally entered into a settlement agreement, and that ended everything.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it takes a long time. What I'm trying to say is horrible things can happen. It takes a long time.
So, what do you anticipate being the time frame between oral argument and an answer? Do you think it's going to be before June 15th? Because that's when they go.
Yes, I think it'll be before June 15th, but it could be a week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks. It could be 2 months. And once I waited 6 months for a decision. And we ended up winning, but it took 6 months. This is my offer, or my suggestion, and this is what my gut is feeling. My gut is feeling, hold off, ask to have the appeal, the oral arguments, if they can, rescheduled to July, and which they may deny. Lamar, come on.
You're talking to me like I'm stupid.
No, I'm not talking to you like you're stupid. I want you to look at me. You haven't looked at me once since you got in here.
Stare at you. I don't want to do none of that. I want to take my notes and sit and think.
Well, one of the things
you can look at me and like a person who's been supporting you since August. I
have, and please, you don't have to talk loud. No one has to talk loud. So, let me speak. Okay. Now, when she started September 30th, and I asked you, what can you do to make this go as fast as possible? You said, you don't have to expedite this. It's going to move along well. I said, okay, what's that?
I asked for a stay. They denied. And then I called them and asked for expediting, and they said that nothing that we could do would expedite it. It wasn't going to go any faster than what they were doing.
Bingo. The initial thought was January to February, then March. Now we're at April. You know what you just said to me? You just said, it might take 6 months to get a decision.
It could.
2 months to
I don't think it will.
So no proper time.
I said, Lamar,
let me finish speaking. Stop trying to out-talk me. When you talk, I was going to be quiet.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
So let me just speak what I need to speak. You asked me what I thought, right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
so let me finish my thought, and you all can go back to your pictures. So now where we start in September, and she turns it in November. Kim gets 6 weeks, 2 months, something.
Don't say I turned it into.
I didn't have. No, you turned in the motion in November. You turned it. You submitted it.
I filed the briefs.
Okay, so the language, but stop getting loud. You submitted the motion in November. Kim
you know what?
I
withdraw. James, can you go and do the oral argument?
And I can't. Wait a minute.
That's what she came here to do.
Yeah, we can't.
No, I didn't, Lamar. I wanted you to look at. You know what, Lamar?
Okay, let's just stop. If I'm going to be the mediator here,
Be the mediator. He won't even look at me.
I knew she was going to do it.
I spent $20,000 and I'm now billing you for $7,500.
Okay, hold on. Okay, wait a minute. I think let's just stop for a minute. Okay, let's stop for a minute.
You create your own problems, Lamar, and you know it.
Well, let's just stop.
You just want to argue.
Let's stop.
You want to argue. You want to play.
You are arguing. You were aggressive in arguing.
I haven't done anything. And I'm videoing all this. So, like, why you make up these stories? Like,
I mean,
wow.
Whatever. Yeah, yeeks.
I mean, I would reconsider you withdrawing for sure.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, because
all of this she just did. I didn't
listen, he's used up all his fees. We're good.
Whatever.
I've done everything I need to do.
I paid for a full trial.
I mean,
I paid for a full appeal.
You know oral argument is exempted in the retainer agreement.
I don't even care if you
oral argument is exempted and it's not necessary.
You don't have to.
Okay, all right.
That's fine.
Then I won't.
Like,
I mean, I would.
Okay.
That's fine. You don't want to do it, so I don't want anybody representing me that wants to argue and talk loud.
I don't want a client who's fighting me.
All you've been doing is screaming since you've been in
this room. Is there anything we can do to? I mean, to stop this? Is there anything we can do to fix this? I mean, really.
Fine. I'm good.
I mean, Anne expressed something she feels that it may be in our best interest to delay. And Lamar says no.
I definitely don't.
But let me finish explaining it to James at least, okay?
Okay, well, I haven't said anything about it.
Excuse me, James. Lamar,
I don't work for you. You're not going to be screaming. I've asked you a lot of times to stop screaming at me.
Excuse me, I'm talking to James now.
And actually, James is my attorney here for me.
And you're my attorney, too. Or I'm your attorney, too.
You don't get to do that with James.
I get to talk to James.
James, you talk after this.
Are you telling me not to talk to James?
Well, can I, Lamar, I really do want to hear what she said.
Okay, this is what I'm saying. It could take anywhere.
I knew she was going to do this.
Lamar, oh my God.
That's why I said
do you have an issue with women, Lamar?
No,
I'm serious.
You're a woman's lawyer. You never wanted to represent me. I made a bad mistake spending my money on you, but you're still going to spend and do what I paid for, so do what you got paid for. You never wanted to represent me. You tried to sabotage it a lot of times. A lot of times. She's tried to do this.
I have done nothing but defend you, and I still think you should have custody.
You never, well, okay.
Doesn't matter if you met me. My client never meet me.
Okay, Lamar's she's here to try to.
I was scared about coming here.
You don't have to be scared.
Do I have to raise my voice with you? We sit here and we talk.
You raised your voice to me on the phone numerous times, Lamar.
There's this victim thing that they all do.
No.
They all do? Who is they all do?
I can't do
Lamar, who is they? Women? Women?
What I would like to see.
No, you need to fix it, Lamar, because you should have the children.
We both agree, Lamar.
We both agree you should have the kids.
Have the kids. That's what we're here.
You know what?
Okay, all right, Lamar. We gotta. Can we? I know. Can we?
I don't lose my.
Can you listen for a minute?
Okay, I'm going to talk to you, James, as a lawyer.
Right.
I think anywhere the oral argument is April 11th, 2018.
Right.
So the decision could be anywhere from. The quickest decision I've ever had is a couple days. That's not going to happen here, probably.
Right.
And she doesn't have oral argument.
Right.
Okay, she didn't file a timely brief, so she does not have oral. Are you recording me? Answer question.
I'm typing the notes like I said I was before.
He's typing his notes.
I'm tired of that shit. You see what I'm saying? I had already said that part that I'm taking
notes. Let's move past this. I'm listening. I'm listening.
Just legal issues here.
Okay. This legal issues.
It could be anywhere from, let's say, realistically,
I'm thinking a month.
2 weeks to realistically, it'll be a month.
Yeah.
Now that would get into May. Unlikely it's going to be as long as June 15th. My concern is if we lose, and I always tell every client this, as appellant, not appellee, as appellant, the odds are you're going to lose. Because you've got an uphill battle, you've got the review standards, the abuse of discretion, not legal error, but abuse of discretion. You have them in favor of supporting the trial judge, okay? So, if we even file a motion asking to have it delayed until after the trial court hearing on the 15th, they're probably going to say no because they put the work into it already. Yeah. But I think it might be worth a try. That was my suggestion. If you guys both say no, and I was going to say decide on Monday because I'd have to file by Tuesday.
Okay.
And now I can still file after Tuesday, but I have to file an IC motion. That's an extra $200.
We don't want no.
And I don't want to spend an extra $200.
And I mean, my feeling is
what's your feeling?
Is that we go forward on the 11th.
Okay.
And because
do you think even if we lose, you're going to be okay on the underlying?
Yes. because this is, I think the reason why, because I had a year. You know,
okay.
You got to do these within a year.
Yeah.
And it was getting to be, she made her first lie in May.
Okay.
So, you know, I had to file when I did. I couldn't wait till after the appeal.
Right.
So, and I think it's a different issue because in his opinion, you know, the family is a big part of it's like at least a third of the decision. I have her on the record saying it was the main reason why she wanted to move.
Right, right. The brother is the biggest issue.
Yeah.
I'm just worried, what if the court, do we have a law of the case issue? Now, law of the case, I want to research it, but we need to check.
Okay.
If the Court of Appeal says, oh no, there wasn't enough to find that the brother wasn't in Georgia, okay, the Court of the trial court's affirmed on that. The trial court did a great job. We find brother was in Georgia, or even if he wasn't, there was still enough, and that's done. If that's law of the case, does that bind the trial court? I think the trial court, in terms of law of the case, can always go back and make new findings. I think law of the case binds the Court of Appeals on subsequent decisions. But I want to do a research. I want to double check that. And I'll do that this weekend and double check and make sure law of the case doesn't constrain the trial court. Because I don't want to screw Lamar on remand or if we get a decision in the Court of Appeals that completely screws him. I don't want you handicapped when you come up to that decision in June. That's my concern.
Okay. Well,
or that hearing.
And I mean, I've never filed a 2.612 before. Ever.
And you did, and you got good result on this.
Well, yeah, and the reason I think it's different is because when we did a reconsideration, we're basically asking him to reconsider his decision.
And we raised the same issue, right?
But we had some new evidence. You know, Lamar found that order in Oakland County that specifically names her brother as a person who can, like, pull the kids out of school or something. He can facilitate.
Oh, it was her motion or her order?
It's an order.
Okay, all right. Send me a copy of that, okay?
Yeah.
All right, give me a copy of that order.
We're going to have to do a picture right now because it's certified, so I can't scan it.
Okay.
I haven't scanned it yet.
Okay, all right. That's okay. That's okay.
Do you need a copy of it now? I can go get it.
Yeah, that would be great. Let
me go get it.
Yeah, before you storm off, where's my transcripts?
I'm not going to storm out.
That's fine. Whatever
you know what? I'll email. I'm having them scanned. And you know what? I thought I scanned and sent them to you already. So you email me the copy. They will be sent to you tonight. Lamar, I'm behind you 1,000%. It's just I don't understand why you couldn't even look at me. Just look for 1 second. 1 second.
Let me help you out.
That's good.
We can say something very clear to each other.
Okay, all right.
Like, you seem to think that I'm not clever enough to identify certain things. No. You clearly can't, because just like a lot of people, you do these things that, like, it's shit that I've seen a million times. That little thing you just did on the women and shit, like, if the whole issue was that, then you never should have been my lawyer. Like, if you thought I hated women and beat the woman and shit,
think that.
but
I just wanted you to
that at the
look
top
at
of
me.
your lungs.
I didn't scream at the top of my lungs. Lamar, you've yelled at me over the phone before.
I've yelled about being angry about my children. I've yelled about being hurt about my children. I haven't yelled at you about who the person you are, what you do. I've yelled because I said, like when we were sitting in your office and I said, James, my daughter is pleading for me and I can't do anything. So I might have cursed or got angry because I said I'm messed up about my children.
And Lamar, that's the other thing.
I said, James, please understand, I'm not trying to criticize you. I said, James, I get stressed out about my kids. I apologize if I get angry. That's what I said to you, right?
And we all get stressed about our kids, Lamar.
Yeah, so in the just of trying to be productive, right?
Great, thank you.
I try not to do anything to cause any unnecessary problems.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I've been through the ringer with different circumstances, so it's taught me to do one specific thing. And that's to keep the same tone when I speak. And to not do anything except for look at the
order that all parenting time is changed to take the grandmother's home.
Seems that people like that better. See, me and you can do this, but everybody doesn't
like that. So what does this mean?
Well, Lamar, I just want to say that we all are on the same page. We think you have the kids. That's why we're here.
Well, that's the only. That's why
we're here. I have not bailed on you at all. I mean, we've had some disagreements. I'm not bailing on you. Because I really believe
I'm not either.
So what you described to me, I'm going to be honest with you. What you described to me, like, okay, it's something I've seen happen to a lot of dudes in my father's group. This dynamic, I've had a lot of guys that went through this before I got here. So I had an idea like, okay, this is how this works. Okay, that's why I asked both of you a lot of finite questions, because in my group, one guy gets rejected one way, he lists that. So then everybody knows, oh, you can lose like that? Then somebody else lists it. And he's like, oh, you can lose like that? So we're taking notes and we're accumulating this. So I said to myself, damn, they give us all this information about co-parenting and 12 points and following the boundaries. But it never matters when it's for any of the guys I know, me included. And then you say, okay, truth. You have transcripts of a person lying just blatantly.
Right, and that's what we're going on for. That's in June. Yeah. I want to make sure you've got the best. Yeah.
But you also have that in your appeal. You also have that in your appeal.
But I don't trust any of the judges.
It's a different standard.
They're different standards of review. That's the concern I have.
That's the
problem. All parenting time exchanges to
this is in 2005.
Yeah.
So what happened
Brenda Hawkins.
She was on supervised parenting times 3 times before me and her got together.
Okay.
This was a time when they took her kid and put it in, what's that thing called, Haven House or something?
Yeah.
And they told her the only time she could see her kid is with the brother or maybe the grandma. Then after that, they said the grandma couldn't see the kid. Her name is Brenda. This identifies that Brenda Hawkins and James Ponder are her family members.
Was Ponder living nearby at all in 2005?
At that time, yes.
He was.
And then he moved away.
Okay, and then he moved to Illinois. Okay, and that's what they're basing it on too.
Yeah, because when we did the reconsideration, we didn't have this, so we really didn't have the direct connection. We had some,
but all of her testimony at trial was, James is going to be in.
Well, she never said her name. They never made no name.
She said brother was a doctor, but he's the only brother who's a doctor.
That's the only. No, it's the only brother she has.
He's not even a doctor.
He's not a doctor.
What is he?
He's a cancer registrar for this organization called Swedish American
He's not a doctor or nurse, nothing.
Didn't she say doctor?
She said doctor. She said emergency room doctor at Emory Hospital. That's 3 different lies. Emergency room doctor at Emory Hospital.
Yeah. And I actually have this guy. He's got a LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
And you might have that.
Wow.
I mean, it might have been under reconsideration.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's like mentioned in. I've looked up Swedish Americans like cancer reports. He's mentioned.
His son's in high school there, and I got his
Let
son's
me research.
Kim's his Facebook friend.
Yeah.
Let me look at law of the case right now, okay? Just to make sure, James.
Blatant lies.
I'm just.
And then he doesn't have anything.
There are blatant lies.
He never has anything in that record that substantiates any choices. They didn't even have to turn in the motion, the basics. That thing outlines what we had to turn in. Why did she never have to submit any taxes or check stubs? It outlines it right on the
why did she have to submit any real proof that this really
happened? It says that we had to turn that in.
Yeah.
It says we had to. It never was there. When you sent me those transcripts the other day. It's like page 18 of them or something, and it's a part, and I sent it back to you. And remember I told you I was trying to dissect what was wrong with him? Yeah. In that thing, when he said, I asked him, I said, well, I'm trying to figure out how you're measuring things, because they haven't turned in anything. Yeah. So how are we deciding that she has a job, has this, has that? And then he just said, okay, and went to the next thing and told me to go along. So even when I tried to present it, then he was like, you keep saying this. I said, because I'm showing she's perjuring herself. I say that in
Well, you said it repeatedly.
So like it's already been brought up. You bring in another motion that brings it up. It's like 2 months where I say, okay, well, when she says that part, this is what I'm going to be honest with you.
So are you CBCI or
what's that?
What's your Wi-Fi?
It's this one right here, or this one, either or.
Okay, and what's your?
It's Alan Trammell with 2 L's.
Oh, that's what you told me.
TRAMMELL.
ALAN, right?
ALAN, all one word.
Let's see if it works. Lamar, I'm behind you 1,000%. It's just that when I raise these issues, they're procedural issues, but they're raised for a reason, because because the court goes off on these technical procedural things all the time.
Yeah, no.
That's my worry. It's not my concern. It's my worry.
Like when I said I've only done 1, 2. Yeah, this is the only 2.61. I've had clients tell me, "Oh, so-and-so lied in court," and then when they identify the lies, they're like peripheral, minor stuff.
Right, right.
It may be a lie. I've never had a lie like this.
Right.
And I've never been able to verify it so easily. Never.
Yeah.
Well, this is just step by step by step by step, clearer and clearer. Yeah. I don't want this part of the appeal then to trump my worry. So let's look at the law of the case. But why isn't this? Because if it's not a big deal, the trial court can still go ahead with anything, regardless of what the Court of Appeals comes up with.
I think so. Well, and then there's that other twist.
I think so too, but I